What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a review after 100% for Maneater. So in Maneater, you take on the role of a man-eating shark. But before we jump into that too much, I want to mention a couple of things. I have all the achievements that are currently able to be obtained. There's about 12 placeholder achievements that are currently on its Steam achievement list. That is very common when a game is about to release a DLC in the future, and oftentimes you can actually tell when a game is getting a DLC, even when it's unannounced, by these placeholder achievements that you'll sometimes see. For instance, Greedfall, which actually just recently announced a DLC, has actually had 5 placeholder achievements on its DLC list for like 3 or 4 months actually. Now, the other thing I want to mention at the start of this, Maneater is a short game, actually. So the developers, when it was released, actually mentioned, like, you're a man-eating shark, how much story can you really pack in there? Which, fair enough. Truth be told, 100%ing this game took me, literally 8 hours. It's not very long. And I'm also going to do away with my typical review process, if you will. I have specific categories of things that I like to cover and go over. But this game being so short and honestly just so kind of different than a lot of games, I'd rather just do this kind of freeform, actually. The game starts off with a bit of a tutorial where you play your soon-to-be shark's mother before she is captured and killed for being a man-eater. She's actually pregnant with you. You are cut out of her, maimed, and then tossed into the water after you eat a man's hand, which is literally the first thing you eat, human flesh. You take on the role of your shark pup, and you are then tasked with basically growing this shark. Now, you start as a pup. The later stages are teen, adult, elder, and mega. You, of course, get progressively bigger as you hit those stages, which allows you to do a larger variety of things. Before we jump into the exploration and stuff, I want to talk about the evolutions, because this is probably the most interesting part of the game, because if you were just a regular shark, it would be kind of whatever. But the game has actually added evolutions, which take the place of gear, basically. So as you do various things throughout the game, grow in infamy by eating shark hunters and things like that, you can unlock evolutions, which you can then attach to various parts of your shark body, which will change fundamentally how your shark operates. Now, these evolutions, for the most part, are broken into 3 sets: bioelectric, shadow, and bone. Each of them makes you good at one particular thing. Bioelectric makes you good at killing other animals, basically. Basically, you'll stun things constantly, so even bigger animals will then be easy to kill. Shadow makes you very good at swimming incredibly fast and killing things very quickly and getting out of the way and poisoning them. And then bone makes you really good at taking out boats from shark hunters and things. And then there are the organ evolutions, which will let you just change various things about just various things, really. How much of each resource you get for consuming other animals, how long you can be on the land outside of the water, that kind of thing. Now, I mentioned resources because in order to get these evolutions upgraded, which allows them to be about 3 times better than normal at max, your shark has to eat. You do this by finding nutrient caches, which serve as a bit of a collectible, as well as just eating other things, be they animals or human beings, and gathering resources this way, like minerals, fats, proteins, mutation points, which actually let you upgrade your later stage evolutions. And then you spend those resources, again, on upgrading your evolutions. So you go from being a tiny shark pup to, at the end of the game, being this gigantic mega shark who is capable of killing sperm whales. So with that out of the way, let's talk exploration, which is most of the rest of the game, actually. So, as you might imagine, you are swimming underwater. Now, there are various biomes. I believe there's 8 in total sections of the map that you can kind of discover and complete objectives in. These objectives are typically finding landmarks, which finding all of them in an area will give you an evolution. But also, when you find them, it'll give you a funny anecdote about whatever is going on there. For instance, you can find SpongeBob's house. Then there are the nutrient caches, which I already mentioned. They are just food that you can eat, basically. And then lastly are just these little license plate collectibles that don't really do anything, but you can collect them. And then you'll get missions on top of those collectible things. These missions take the form of various things. Eating people, of course, on beaches and things like that. Eating other animals, establishing your dominance of the area, which will actually culminate in a fight against an apex predator. Each of the 8 areas has an apex predator. Well, 7 of the 8, actually. One of them doesn't have one. But the apex predators serve as basically a boss fight against another type of animal that is stronger than the typical variant of that animal. And truth be told, that's it. Beyond that, there's the story of trying to get revenge on the fisherman, Scaly Pete, who killed your mother, which is like a weird revenge story for this game, to be honest, but it does happen. That's the main plot. And that's pretty much Maneater, summed up in a nutshell. It's just a comically fun game. My personal favorite part of it was upgrading my shark to be like really good at being out of the water and just rolling along beaches and just slaughtering humans. So it's just a kind of whimsically dumb fun game that did way more than it had to be appealing. And again, there should actually be a DLC coming before too long. It recently dropped on Steam in May, which is why I was playing it. I picked it up as part of the Steam summer sale. I believe it's like $23 right now for the duration of the sale. Normally, I believe it's like $40. Honestly, great time. It was really fun. I had a lot of just dumb fun with it. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a mutated shark prowling the ocean, this is the game for you. But beyond that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.